This is a Pokemon Fusion Nuzlocke, but we're only using Fairy types. In this Nuzlocke, we have the ability to fuse together Pokemon to create stronger ones that'll make our families kind of ashamed of us. But every fusion Pokemon we create needs to be a Fairy type, which means the Pokemon we can actually use in this run are going to be limited. What, you're telling me every Pokemon doesn't want their conscious fused together with another for my entertainment? And for an extra challenge, we're going to be completely randomizing this run just so we have to think a bit on our feet. It'll make it harder to actually get any Fairy type Pokemon. For example, when trying to get a starter, I had to reset the run multiple times until I finally got a Fairy type, but we struck out of the park with an Azurill Gardevoir fusion. This is great since we essentially get 2 Fairy type Pokemon in one, and the constant Gardevoir fusions will make for great thumbnail bait. Either way, let's quickly capture some new Pokemon and make some fusions. Remember, we can always unfuse and refuse our Pokemon later, so for now let's mix Gardevoir with the Dragonair and name them Duck. Remember, all of our Nuzlocke Pokemon are named after commenters, so remember to subscribe and leave a comment to make it into the next video. We're also lucky enough to find a Cleffa really fast, so we can mix them with a Gible and create just the smallest little terror I've ever seen. Meet Crimson. Now, Dragon-type Pokemon are powerful early game, but they don't get access to many moves. But what they do get access to is Dragon Rage, a move that will always do a fixed 40 damage and will essentially OHKO any early game Pokemon. This allows Crimson to easily beat our rival named Dildong, besides giving me an excuse to tell you my rival's name is Dildong. It also unlocks this secret garden where we end up finding a Klefki we named Efwin. I actually thought Fairy types would be really hard to find, but I guess I'm feeling pretty in pink, knock on wood. But we do have a job to do, so we battle through Viridian Forest and make it to our first gym. Brock is also running with Fairy types, so my 2 Dragon Fairy types are gonna be kinda useless here. Also, weird question, why is Fairy strong against Dragon types? I still don't know. To counter Brock's Fairies though, we're gonna fuse our Klefki and Gardevoir together to create Duckwin. It's risky because if they die, we end up losing 2 Pokemon instead of 1, but I just don't think we have any options. We do luck out though, and Brock randomized to just have a Snubbull Trico and a Graveler Cleffa, so our fully evolved Duckwin is able to body them. I'm excellent at kicking children. Now we're free to head east to Mount Moon and make some more permanent fusions. First off, I'm going to separate Duckwin and fuse the Klefki with Lord Helix. You know it's true because it says it right there on their tag. Next, I want to finally use the second half of our starter. We're gonna fuse Aaron with Azurill. An Aggron with huge power just sounds broken as hell, so meet Fork. And finally, we need to find a good fusion for Duck. I felt that the most name-appropriate fusion for Duck was Skarmory, and this ends up looking amazing. They truly are Mother of Ducks, first of her name, ruler of... I don't know where I was going with that joke. Oh yeah, Team Rocket is also in Mount Moon, by the way, but they've never been that difficult. Oh yeah, randomizer. Anyway, their plan involves fusing 3 Pokemon together. That's 1 more than 2. So we're gonna check back in on them later, and hey look, some of our Pokemon are even evolving. Fork has grown a little bit bigger, and ooh, Crimson, that does not look great. Let's refuse them with a Dragonair so they can still keep their Dragon Fairy typing. Of all of our Pokemon, this is probably the most fairy-like one, and I'm looking at you, Forks. I love you, but you look like a serial killer. Apparently they took that comment personally, so they decided to evolve once again. The design is awesome, but my comment still stands. Anyway, for now it's time to once again fight our rival Dildong in Cerulean City. We're giving Fork a test drive, and to my delight, they easily beat down a Milotic Weezing and a Girafarig Parasect. Hell yeah. Next up is a Pyukumuku Shelgon, and this thing almost gave me a heart attack when they used Counter. Okay, we need to get Fork out of there. Duck and Crimson are able to finish off the rest of their Pokemon though, and now we just have to fight some Team Rocket members on a bridge, catch a Togetic we name Raven, mash them together with Banette, and we're ready for Misty. Misty is running a Rock-type gym now, and luckily Fork is able to just spam a huge power-boosted Aqua Tail, which soaks their Cradily Omastar and their Chandelure Corsola. Badge number 2, easy peasy. Next stop is getting Bill out of his fursuit, then Vermilion City, where a lucky fishing rod helps us get an Eevee. They're not useful for now, but I'm still impressed with how many Fairy types we're getting. Oh my god. I hope this doesn't slow down. That's called foreshadowing. Instead, it's boat time, baby. We fight our way through the SSN with some strange but dapper looking fusions until it's time to put Dildong in his place once again. He leads with an Azumarill Ampharos, and while Duck can hold their own here, isn't it more fitting to have Fork fight their Ampharos brother? Next up is a Mismagius Typhlosion that Crimson is able to take care of with just a couple Dragon Rages. For Celebi Solacis, which is... wait, why is it just a fetus? Never mind. How about we have Raven actually get a KO? And for his starter, Pyukumuku Shogun, on, let's use F-Win. We have to show some love to the other party members, right? We can't just use 3 of them this entire game. Now that we've given an unwilling massage to the captain in exchange for goods, we can head to the Vermilion City Gym, which is flying type now. Also, I straight up spent like 5 minutes doing this goddamn stupid trash can puzzle. Every time I play this game, it pisses me off even more. But that's fine. Let's battle Lieutenant Surge. We lead with Crimson against an adorable Crobat Meowth fusion, but Dragon Rage is still a broken move, so it doesn't matter. I should switch out against this Jan McGliger, but Duck literally gives them the kiss of death. It's not my fault Gardevoir fusions are just so good in this game, in more ways than one, I guess. Don't. And finally, we have Flygon and Aerodactyl, which Fork is able to destroy with a couple play roughs. Reveling in our victory, we decide to refuse Raven with a Metang. I'm hoping that making them a pseudo-legendary makes them, actually viable. Now we head through Rock Tunnel, fighting some bizarre fusions, and whoa, why does this one person have a Curlia Eevee and an Umbreon Lopunny? I'm not one to talk about these things, but they should definitely be on a list. Speaking of Eevee though, we do manage to evolve our Eevee into a Sylveon, and while we could follow down a very dark path and fuse them with a Baniri, dooming this Pokemon for their life, I'd rather fuse it with something more unique like this Corsola. I actually love this design, especially the bubbles, but our true choice is going to be Volcarona and Sylveon. Meet Shining, the GOAT who is going to single-handedly carry this run. Next, we beat down our rival in Lavender Tower. It's not a difficult match, we just need to Quiver Dance a few times and then Draining Kiss, which I call the Coward's Dance. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon down, easy victory. That frees us up to go confront Team Rocket. They're looking for the location of the 3 legendary birds in the sewers for some reason. But Erica is here to help us with some double battles. But it's time to go toe-to-toe with the big boss. Giovanni is rocking some powerful Pokemon fusion and leads with the Miltank Licky Licky. To be honest, maybe it's the Teat and Tongue combo, but this Pokemon makes me super uncomfy. But Duck is a Steel type, and I feel safe enough to set up with a couple Calm Minds to vaporize this Tongue Cow and do the same to a Starmie Poliwhirl. But then this Flaffy Gyarados comes out, and I'm sitting here re-watching this footage and I cannot fathom my decision to switch into F-Win, the water type, to fight this electric type. Of course we're gonna have the first death of this run on this dumbass decision. I must have been recording this at like 2 a.m. or something. I don't know what was going through my head. Anyways, Fork the Goat is here to huge power this worm into submission. Rest well, F-Win, you will be missed. Without you, we wouldn't... Well, to be honest, you weren't the most useful Pokemon, but I'm sorry my dumb decision caused you to die. Now it's time to fight Erica's gym, which is now normal type, which can actually be terrifying if we fight something like a Slacking, but reality is more generous. Erica leads with a Cubone Porygon, but no pixelated orphan can measure up to the might that is Fork. Fork manages to devour this Dunsparce Ivysaur as well, but to be safe against this Porygon Z Unknown fusion, we switch into Shining, and a simple Bug Buzz wins us the day. Carrying this entire team has strengthened Fork enough to evolve into a Lairon. Oh god, it's in pain! This means we need to look for a new Azumarill fusion. There are a lot of really cute and sinful options we could go for, but choosing Pokemon based off aesthetics is how they die. Overall, I think Poison and Fairy is a great typing, so we mashed Fork together with a Crobat. And hey look, Crimson is able to evolve now, and they look exactly the same. Seriously, did anything even change? Put these side by side. Out of pure rage and spite, we're gonna find a different Pokemon fusion. Clefable fusions are actually really amazing. A lot of them have this gorgeous space and planet system themes, but at the end of the day, we found a Palkia in Lavender Tower. Palkia, the legendary Pokemon that represents space, and Clefable, a literal alien, is going to have an amazing fusion, of course. Oh my god, I love them. Also, Raven evolved, but I wasn't really feeling the evolution, so instead we're fusing them with a Torterra. They look amazing, and having access to ground moves is always welcome. Now it's time to battle our way down to Fuchsia City, and after serenading a Snorlax with our recorder, we luck out again and get a Darkrai. If only we had something to fuse it with. But for now, let's take on Koga's gym, which is now a fire type, but Raven has Earthquake and Fork has Aqua Tail, so we should be good. Right? Well, Koga led with a Flareon Meganium, and for whatever reason, zero braining it, I have Raven use Leech Seed on a grass type, which allows them to get a free poison off. We managed to whittle them down a little bit, and after Koga fully heals their Pokemon, I need to switch Raven out into Fork. Luckily, Fork fares better, and a couple huge power Aqua Tails are enough to turn this Dino back into fuel. But Koga's next Pokemon is a Suicune Volcarona. Fork is still the GOAT, so they managed to just barely pull through, beating them and a Drifloon Houndour, but I think it's time we switch out. Wait, Why can't I switch out? So it turns out this Magby Wobbuffet has Shadow Tag, which makes it so I cannot switch Fork out. And with a single Lava Plume, Fork, our starter, has perished. At least Crimson can avenge them, but our team is now down to 4. But right when our luck is at a low point, who will arrive but another Pokemon that people weirdly sexualize? Mawile is here, and immediately we are going to fuse them with our Darkrai to create Wes. Okay, sure, we might not have a full team of 6, but I mean, we have 2 legendary Pokemon, a Gardevoir fusion, a Volcarona fusion, and Raven, I guess. So how could we lose? Definitely not by the Team Rocket grunts outside of Saffron City, that's for sure. Why is this Rotom just a hairdryer? But being in Saffron City during a Team Rocket takeover, we do have to fight our way up Silphco, where Team Rocket is invading. They're trying to find the Master Ball to capture the legendary birds, but we're too ripped out of our goddamn minds to care. Okay, but right before we fight Giovanni, goddamn Dildong decides that this is the right time for a rival battle. Why? You've lost every time. What makes you think that this is the right time? Imagine you're in a diner with your friend and a man comes in with a gun and decides to rob you. In response, your friend pulls out their Nintendo Switch and challenges you to Smash Brothers. That's what this is. Anyways, Shining is able to set up with a coward's dance and sweep Dildong's entire team, which includes an Arceus Croconaw. He has the power of God and anime on his side, and he just chooses to be an ass. At least Dildong has the courtesy to actually help us fight Team Rocket in a double battle. I'm sure he'll help us with other problems Team Rocket has, right? Well, Team Rocket manages to steal Master Balls, and now they have everything they need for their Triple Fusion experiment. We need to stop them immediately. Or we could get 2 gym badges first, too. That sounds good. Sabrina has a Ghost-type gym, and if only we had a legendary Dark-type fusion in our arsenal. Wes leads the charge against Sabrina's Cofagrigus Axew, but this Togekiss Mismagius has Fairy-type and Aura Sphere. I'm not losing another party member, nope. So back to our best strategy, the Coward's Dance, baby. All you need to do to win this game is Quiver Dance with Shining, then spam Drain Kiss. None of Sabrina's Pokemon can take a stand to us, not this Tangela Spiritomb, and not even this Giratina Regigigas fusion. The 2 most powerful legendaries in the Sinnoh region combined cannot touch Shining after boogieing down on the battlefield. Next is Blaine's gym on Cinnabar Island, and he runs a ground-type gym now. Looking at our team, we don't really have any great options, so we're going back to unfuse and refuse Duck. Leafeon seemed to be a good idea to get grass coverage, so let's mash them together. Oh no, more Pokemon for thumbnails. We lead with Duck since I can't just use Quiver Dance and Draining Kiss for every battle, and we need a new strategy. This time, I'm gonna Calm Mind and Giga Drain. Completely different strategy from Quiver Dance Draining Kiss. This just happens to be super effective against Blaine's Mega Mamoswine, Wigglytuff Diglett, Porygon Z Sandslash, and Solus's Nidoking. Okay, you can't blame me that I've just found the perfect strategy. I found a loaded gun that wins every Pokemon battle, so of course I'm gonna use it, especially because we have to go to Mount Ember and actually foil Team Rocket's plan now. The climax of this game involves Team Rocket successfully creating the first triple Pokemon fusion between Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, and that means we have to battle against them 1v3. This is an easy Nuzlocke ender, so we have to go in with a plan. We strip Duck of their kimono and need something tanky instead. This Golurk has decent armor, but a really bad moveset, so instead we're gonna fuse Duck with a Bastiodon. That way we can use all these rock moves with Stab, and they resist any electric, ice, or fire moves that Moltecuno will throw at us. We start the battle and immediately start bombarding Articuno with Rock Tomb. Not only is this 4 times effective, but it gets rid of their ice moves, which are super effective against the 2 tanks in our party, Crimson and Raven, so they're the priority. Once Articuno falls, it becomes a battle of attrition. Because Duck is so tanky now, I want to use Drain Kiss so we can stay out here as long as we can and waste their PP. Yeah, so their moveset is reduced. To my surprise though, Duck manages to take down Zapdos as well and almost finish off Moltres. Duck and Bastiodon is so goated in this run, holy crap. Just to be safe though, let's switch into Crimson and holy crap, Air Slash did way too much damage there. Never mind, let's switch into Raven. Raven, look, I know we haven't always gotten along, and I know I've made fun of you a lot this run, but you have Rock Tomb, which is 4 times effective against Moltres. I believe that you can win this. Oh, you survived with 1 health and got burned. Ooh, well, as long as you KO'd them. Rest in peace, you bastard, at least you were cute. Shining comes in and is pretty easily able to finish off what Raven couldn't, and the day is saved. Raven, you may have passed on, but Giovanni hasn't, and we're gonna make him pay. Giovanni is running a fighting type gym now, which essentially just means his Pokemon are ripped out of their goddamn mind. If you've ever wanted to just see what an Articuno looks buff, here you go. It's a little scary going into this gym battle with 4 Pokemon versus 5, but then I remember that we have type advantage as well as the Coward's Dance, and Shining is able to just sweep all of Giovanni's Pokemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. All 8 gym badges are under our belt, or in our badge case or something. I've never really been clear on where they put these things. Also, there's another rival battle here for some reason, but all of Dildong's Pokemon are literal babies, so it wasn't that tough of a fight. Like I said, I am the best baby kicker this side of the Mississippi. We did manage to catch a Jigglypuff though, so at least we get one more party member before the Elite Four. Meet Whaler Man. There's a lot of fun Wigglytuff fusions, but in the end, I choose Empoleon just because his name is Whaler Man, and Empoleon is the closest thing I can come to a Whalmer. He's great and will KO exactly 1 Pokemon in this run, so you know, he has his job to do. I also want to refuse Duck so that I have more thumbnail so my team is more powerful for the Elite Four. Well, all of these fusions look great, and this Metagross one is probably super powerful. Something about Gardevoir and Garchomp just speaks to me. Maybe it's the alliteration, or maybe it's just that I was way too influenced by a certain Sinnoh champion growing up. But the time is now. Without a full party, let's travel to the Elite Four. We put our dukes up to Lorelei, and since the Elite Four typings are randomized, she sends out, psychic types. Coward Dance time, baby! Wobbuffet, Jumpluff, Feebas, Unknown, Hoppip, Slowbro, Gardevoir, Mr. Mime, and a Mime Jr. Armaldo all get bodied by a full health Shining using Bug Buzz and Drain Kiss. Okay, I admit maybe the strategy is a little overpowered, but that won't stop me from using it more. I mean, I only got 9 Pokemon to use in this run, cut me some slack, y'all. And how can I help myself when... Oh, Bruno's an ice type trainer? Well, Shining's a fire type, so second verse, same as the first. Coward's Dance, baby! And Vaporeon Articuno, Piloswine Bastiodon, Mamoswine Metagross, Delibird Yamask, and Mr. Mime Smoochum. Shining still hasn't taken any damage even after defeating all of these Pokemon. They're just too much of a beast to be stopped. I don't know their stats compared to other Pokemon, but I know Fire and Fairy is a god tier typing, but I've never had a Pokemon dominate this much in a Nuzlocke. It's time for Agatha, who still has ghost types actually. Even a Hyper Beam isn't stopping Shining though from bonding every Pokemon in her arsenal. So I guess Shadows do die twice. Okay, let's jump into a harder battle with Lance. He leads with an Umbreon Miltank, and I mean, we're still leading with Shining, and a Bug Buzz is all it takes to scare them off. And while Shining is enough to defeat God when they're fused with a Ditto, let's give our other Pokemon some time to stretch. When they send out a literal Minecraft skeleton, we send out West, just to remember that Shining isn't even one of the 2 legendaries in our party. West does a good job of finishing up this Ghost as well as this Umbreon Miltank, but when Wigglytuff comes out and confuses us, I'm not risking it and I switch into Whaler Man. 2 play roughs is all it takes for Whaler Man to get their one and only KO this run, so we can switch into Crimson to beat up a monkey. Dragons always beat monkeys. That's the natural order of things. It's like the law. Now it's time for the champion fight. Yeah, we don't have a full party, but when one of your Pokemon is literally worth 100 others, it doesn't really matter. We start doing our Coward Dance as usual and wreck this Cloyster Ivysaur. Though Regigigas Electro does burn on Shining's Flame Body, I thought it'd be fun to switch into Duck to finish them off, just for shits and giggles. Why not, you know? You fuse them, you gotta use Oh, Mirror Coat is terrifying. I switched back into Whaler Man, fully intending to sack them, but it turned out to just be a god tier read because this Earth Ball uses Explosion. I truly have the gigaist of brains. Get it? Because it's Regigigas Gigabrain. It's funny, okay? Satisfied with Whaler Man's work, I do sack them against this Volcarona Roserade though, just to get a safe switch into Crimson, who with a Choice Specs boosted Power Gem is able to rock this Volcarona's world. Should have used the Coward's Dance, man. It's the only reason you get a Volcarona. Crimson is also able to go toe-to-toe with Pyukumuku Salamence, barely surviving their poisoning, so we can switch back into the MVP of this run for one last boogie down Coward's Dance, so we can destroy Weavile Dragonite right as they try and Dragon Dance. Pathetic. One last Draining Kiss to their Copagrigus Banette is all it takes for us to win and become the champion. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the most fun playthroughs of Pokemon Fusions I've done yet. Not only is Fairy my favorite typing, but I was really scared about randomizing this game because I never knew where I would find them. I mean, holy crap, we didn't even get every single Fairy type available in this game. But the ones we did get were powerful as all hell. I don't think I've ever had a Pokemon just dominate and be overwhelming as much as Shining was. And that was in a party with a Darkrai and Palkia. If you have one message to take away from this video, it's just, if you're under the age of 4, don't you ever cross me in the street. I swear to God, I will kick you so far you'll legally be an unidentified flying object. That was so aggressive, I'm sorry. Like and subscribe, have a nice day.